The last 114 years, which isn't significant for you, but anyway, the market was up 43 and it went sideways 71. Okay? And I'm not taking little things here, I'm taking moves, all right? Sideways 71 of the last 43, the last 57 years up 29 years, and sideways 28. The last 57 years, up 11 years, we're going back to 66, I think. Up 11, sideways 17. Up 18, sideways 11, and counting. Now, Wall Street says, gee, buy these mutual funds and just keep buying them. Or the 401k says, put the money away and just keep buying. It doesn't work. The market doesn't work like that over long periods of time. In the last 57 years, you've had 11 up, 17 basically sideways. This was from 66 to 83. The market up 18, it went up to till 2000, all right? Now we're sideways again. You cannot average up and make money. It's simple math. You cannot continue to buy higher and make money. It just doesn't work that way. It works for Wall Street, all right? It works for brokers because they get paid every time you put money in, all right? Now, that's not to say that people haven't made money, okay, in their 401k, because some of them have. And it's not to say that mutual funds are all bad, because they're not all bad, but a lot of them don't perform. And they don't perform for these reasons. Investors' poor timing. People get scared and they sell out the wrong place. They should be buying. And they come back in. They're just starting to come back in. Market's up how many percent? The public is just starting to buy mutual funds in the last 3 or 4 months. All right? Averaging misunderstood. I just told you about that. And misled, because that's not how you need to work with investing. And excess fees and expenses on mutual funds run anywhere from 1 to 1.5%. There's loads, which are 2 to 4%. I never ever sold a mutual fund in my life, and I started out as a stockbroker. I never sold one because the fees were too high. Okay? The fees on all variable annuities are too high. Never sold one. Okay? And I didn't because I had other things that I thought would work a lot better, and I still, look, my dad told me, treat your customer right. Okay? It's a long time ago. Treat your customer right, and you'll have a customer. Do something for yourself. Sell an annuity because you've got a trip coming. No, I don't do any of that. That's not how I think you'd keep clients, and I don't need to take the trip anyway. So anyway, taxes are another thing on mutual funds. You have to, unless you're in the 401k or the retirement, on mutual funds you have to pay taxes. Okay, and that also eats up because funds turn over. The mutual fund guys are turning over. And here's the other good reason, but you don't read about it, that mutual funds do not perform as well as the market. 80% of them haven't for a long time, and that's this. Everybody in the room has heard of a hedge fund, I presume. Anybody not ever heard of a hedge fund? That required large investments in the beginning. Now it's less. The guys that were doing well in the mutual funds now manage hedge funds. The cream of the crop, started or went with a hedge fund because they could make a lot more money. That's the other reason that there's only 2 or 3 families of mutual funds that pay their people high enough money to keep them. But you don't read about that, but that's another aspect of it. So, if you're interested in what is better, then that's what we call exchange-traded funds, ETFs. I've been using them for a long time. The book covers it. That's part of what I rewrote. You can probably make, over a period of time, at least 25% more using an exchange-traded fund. And it's simply like a mutual fund, except it's indexed to a certain body of stocks. Like there's an S&P 500, it's SPY. They don't move stocks in and out. They don't, so you don't have the gain that taxes eat up over half of the excess costs that people have in results of buying a mutual fund. They're just not that good. And exchange-traded funds, in my book, I said, you know, eventually most people will go to that. And it's just like the variable annuity. Most people are going to go use annuities. They're going to go to this hybrid income type of annuity. Those are newer, they're better. The concept is sound. So on exchange-traded funds, you have to then, the other part of the equation, you need to work with somebody that's going to help you, they call it tactical. Basically all that means is at some point you need to take profits. At some point you can't just sit for 12 years, market goes up, and then it gets killed because unless they make some significant changes, you're going to have the volatility is still going to be there. It was just there 6 months ago, all right? 20%, and there wasn't any, you know, there was a little bad news. So that's something that's going to still take place. I use ETFs almost exclusively. I don't use any kind of mutual funds. They're too expensive, the fees are too high, and the taxes are too high to have to pay.